37a asks us to find the limit of this function here in this picture as we approach infinity. So as x approaches infinity, so x is going out to the right, what happens to this function as x gets bigger and bigger? Well, imagine yourself on the curve. Now, as x gets bigger and bigger, right, if we're over here, x is not getting bigger and bigger, but x can get bigger and bigger over here. So as you're on the curve, it seems like we're going up toward what number? We're getting up toward this line right here. That seems to be -1. So I'm going to conclude here that this is -1. And what happens as we go toward negative infinity? All right, so x is going to negative infinity out in this direction to the left. So as we're on the curve going to the left, again, we seem to be approaching that line right here, right? Our verticals are coming down toward that line, which is -1. So we're going to say that's -1. And then what happens as we approach 2? Well, as x approaches 2, all right, so here's 2. So as we come in from the left, the x values, or the function values, are getting bigger and bigger without bound. And as we come in from the right, we're going down and down without bound. So this limit does not exist. That means, that is, as we approach 2, as we get really close to 2 here, as you come in from the left, the function values are getting really big. As you come in from the right, they're getting really small. So they don't approach one particular number, so we're going to say that this limit does not exist. And in 39, as we approach infinity of this function, right, of this function here, as x gets bigger and bigger and bigger out this way, what's the function doing? Well, if you're on this curve, it seems like you're going up and up and up, right? The farther you go out to the right, the higher you get. So it looks like this goes off to infinity, so that's what I'm going to write here. I'm going to write that this equals infinity, or you could write does not exist, because it's not really approaching any one particular number. But since I have a graph, I'm going to write infinity, because that tells us kind of what it's doing. It's going off to getting bigger and bigger and bigger as we approach negative infinity. So we're going to the left now. So imagine yourself on this curve moving to the left, right? We're going this way, so we're going up the curve. And again, we're getting bigger, bigger, and bigger values. So I'm going to say that this is infinity, or if you like, you could write does not exist. And then what happens as you approach 2? Okay, so as we're approaching 2, now look what happens. Right at 2, there's a hole in the graph. So at 2, there's no point here, right? When you put in 2, you get a blank. So it looks like there'd be a hole if it was filled to be 2, 4, but there's no 4 value. So as we approach 2, what's the function doing? As you come in from the left, you're getting closer and closer to 4. As you come in from the right, you're going down closer and closer to 4. So it looks like the limit as x approaches 2 from the left of f of x is 4. Make sense? Because as you come in from the left along this curve, you're coming up toward 4. We never get there. We never get to 2, so we never get to 4. But as we're close to 2 from the left, the function is close to 4. And then as you come in from the right, the limit as x approaches 2 from the right of f of x, as you come in from the right, what's happening? Well, we're coming down toward 4. So this is also going to be 4. And because these two are equal, we're going to claim then that the limit as x approaches 2 from either side of f of x is 4.